Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. General Hospital Friday, September 6 spoilers. Sonny's assignment for Jason. Josslyn demands truth from Carly. General Hospital, GH, spoilers for Friday, September 6, reveal that Lucky Spencer, Jonathan Jackson, will have an opportunity to speak with Holly Sutton, Emma Sams, privately, so he'll tell her that he can smell a con a mile away. It's obvious that Holly isn't romantically interested in Sidwell, Carlo Rhoda, so Lucky will have questions about her scam and endgame here. Regardless of Holly's original motives, her new goals will be keeping Lucky alive and making sure he walks free. Back in Port Charles, Jordan Ashford, Tanisha Harper, will ask if Dan DeFalconeri, Dominic Zamprogna, is any closer to identifying the mystery patient. Since Dante seemingly found Isaiah Gannon's, Sawandi Wilson, phone at the hit-and-run site, that should prove helpful. Meanwhile, Rick Lansing, Rick Hurst, will keep pressuring Elizabeth Baldwin, Rebecca Hurst, to go to the cops with him. Although Rick will maintain that they have to tell the police about seeing Alexis Davis, Nancy Lee Grahn, ditch that weapon, Liz will try to talk him out of spilling that news together. As far as Elizabeth is concerned, it'll be better for everyone if they butt out. Liz may ask if Rick really wants to risk sending Molly Lansing Davis, Kristen Baginos, mom to prison when she's already lost so much. At the PCPD, Anna Devane, Finola Hughes, will tell Harrison Chase, Josh Swickard, that there's been a development in the homicide of Agent John Jagger Cates, Adam J. Harrington, so she'll feel a step closer to catching the perp. Anna will also warn someone in Friday's GH episode, so we'll see who's on the receiving end of her stern advice. In the meantime, Josslyn Jacks, Eden McCoy, will grill Carly Spencer, Laura Wright, about whether she actually slept with Sonny Corinthos, Morris Bernard, or just gave him an alibi for murder. Based on Carly's pained expression in Friday's preview video, it looks like she may confess that she's doing what she has to do for Sonny's sake. Regardless, Josslyn will be furious with Carly for letting Sonny pull her into a situation that could end in disaster. Over with Jason Morgan, Steve Burton, he'll get updates on the gun that's missing from Sonny's safe. Sonny will insist it's the only thing tying him to the murder and most likely give Jason an assignment to find out where the weapon went. That isn't the gun that shot Agent Cates, but it could still be traced back to Sonny and cause all kinds of problems for him. Is there a chance that the weapon will wash up somewhere despite Alexis' attempt to get rid of it forever? Finally, Lois Cirillo, Rena Sofer, will have an intriguing dialect lesson with Ms. Robin Finch, Sarah Sherman, so we'll see whether Lois will prove to be a good student. Our predictions point to some major hurdles when it comes to Lois' attempt to talk differently, so don't miss the comical scenes ahead. General Hospital spoilers say Tracy Quartermain, Jane Elliott, may put Lois to the test after this lesson, and hope the new hire is paying off. The tension in Port Charles was palpable as the sun crept over the horizon on this particular Friday morning. The town, still reeling from the string of dangerous events surrounding the Corinthos family, seemed poised on the brink of another storm. At the heart of it all was Sonny Corinthos, the infamous mob boss whose life had taken one dramatic turn after another. Today, however, would bring a new layer of complexity to his already chaotic world. Sonny paced his office at the Corinthos compound, his face hardened with determination. He had just received some troubling news, a development that could change everything. It was time to send Jason Morgan, his most trusted enforcer, on a critical mission. Sonny, whose mind was a swirl of calculated risks and survival instincts, knew that there was no one better suited for this assignment than Jason. Jason entered the office with his usual quiet intensity, a man of few words but unshakable loyalty. He took one look at Sonny and knew something big was coming. "What's going on, Sonny?" Jason asked, his voice low but steady. Sonny sighed and ran a hand through his dark hair. "We've got a problem, Jason. A big one. You remember that shipment we thought was going to fall through? It didn't. In fact, it landed, and not where we expected." Jason frowned, piecing the puzzle together. "So someone intercepted it?" "Yeah, we've been set up," Sonny confirmed, his eyes narrowing. "This is personal. Whoever did this, they're coming for me. No, for all of us. I need you to handle it." Jason didn't need any more information. His loyalty to Sonny was absolute, and he knew that this wasn't just about business. It was about family, protection, and survival. Still, a shadow of doubt crept into his mind. With so many enemies circling, could they trust anyone anymore? "Who's the target?" Jason asked, his tone crisp and professional. Sonny looked him in the eye, the weight of their long-standing friendship and partnership palpable in the air. "Cyrus Renault," he said, finally revealing the name. "He's been playing us from the inside, and now he's making his move. This assignment isn't just to send a message, Jason. I need you to end this." Jason's expression darkened. He nodded silently, already planning his next steps. "Consider it done," he said with chilling calm. As Jason left the office, Sonny leaned back in his chair, exhaling slowly. He trusted Jason with his life, but even he knew this war was far from over. If Cyrus was moving in on his territory, Port Charles could be torn apart in the crossfire. Meanwhile, across town, at Carly Corinthos' house, another storm was brewing, this one far more personal. Josslyn Jax, Carly's headstrong daughter, had been feeling out of the loop for far too long. She knew her family's complicated world wasn't something her mother liked to talk about, but she was done with secrets. After everything that had happened, her father Jax's constant worry, the late-night conversations she'd overheard between Sonny and Carly, the cryptic phone calls, Josslyn had reached her limit. It was time for answers. Josslyn marched into the living room, her heart racing. She found Carly sitting at the dining table, staring at her phone with an expression that could only be described as troubled. Without hesitation, Josslyn planted herself in front of her mother, her arms crossed in defiance. "Mom," she began, her voice quivering slightly but filled with determination. "I need you to tell me the truth. No more lies, no more half answers. I deserve to know what's going on." Carly looked up, startled by her daughter's sudden intensity. She sighed heavily, knowing this moment had been coming for a long time. But how could she possibly explain the full scope of their world without scaring Josslyn even more? "Joss, honey, I understand you're upset," Carly said, trying to keep her voice calm and soothing. "But there are things you don't need to know." "Things that—" "No," Josslyn cut her off, her eyes blazing with frustration. "I'm done being treated like a child. I've already seen enough to know that something's wrong. Dad's worried all the time, Sonny's barely around, and you're constantly looking over your shoulder. I'm not blind, Mom." Carly's heart ached as she watched her daughter's anger boil over. She knew Josslyn had every right to be upset. After all, she had lived through more chaos than most teenagers could imagine. But there was also a protective instinct inside Carly, one that had kept her from revealing the darker sides of their lives for as long as possible. "I'm sorry, Joss," Carly finally said, her voice softer now. "I've been trying to keep you safe." Josslyn's expression softened, but only slightly. "Safe from what, exactly?" "From Sonny's enemies. From the danger that's always around us. I'm already living in it, Mom. I just want to know the truth." Carly hesitated. Could she really tell Josslyn everything? Could she expose her daughter to the brutal reality of the mob world that had defined so much of their lives? But before Carly could say another word, Josslyn continued, her voice filled with vulnerability. "I'm not a little girl anymore, Mom. I need to know what's going on. If you keep hiding things from me, I'll never trust you. And I want to trust you." Those words cut Carly to the core. She had always prided herself on being a fierce mother, protecting her children at all costs. But now she realized Josslyn wasn't asking for protection. She was asking for honesty. Carly took a deep breath and reached out to touch her daughter's hand. "Okay, Joss," she said softly. "You're right. You deserve the truth." Josslyn's eyes widened, a mix of relief and trepidation washing over her. She knew this conversation would change everything between them, but it was what she needed. And as Carly began to explain the dangerous world they lived in, the betrayals, the threats, the deals made in the shadows, Josslyn listened, feeling the weight of her mother's words sink into her chest. By the end of the conversation, they were both changed. Josslyn, now fully aware of the darkness lurking in their family's shadows, realized that this truth came with a price. But she also knew that, no matter what, she and her mother would face it together. And as the day in Port Charles continued, with Sonny plotting his next move and Jason readying for a dangerous assignment, the Corinthos family prepared for whatever storm lay ahead.